beautiful climate here. You've got the beaches and the hills, the rolling hills everywhere, the hills next door. So it's a really scenic environment. There's a lot of wineries down here, over 100 wineries and distilleries and breweries and other things to come and see and do. And then the wines are amazing too. And there's a huge variety of, you can spend weeks down here and you wouldn't have seen everything. Hi, I'm Chester Osborn, 4th generation winemaker at D'Arenberg, McLaren Vale, South Australia. McLaren Vale is one of the oldest regions in South Australia, being planted in the 1830s. And there's still vines in the region that are from the 1840s, many of 100-year-old vineyards in McLaren Vale. So old vines really influence the character of the wine because their roots are very deep and they are giving that geology character. So you've got the soil on the top, which is important also, adds a character, and the geology underneath adds a different character, or it can be somewhat similar. Old vines are easy to manage in the vineyard, I suppose, to a certain degree. They sort of regulate themselves nice, so they make a more consistent product. Very young wines, of course, takes a while for them to get the roots established enough to get enough rich flavours in them. Old vines are very important to D'Arenberg because, well, the Denham is principally made up of very old vines, and it's a very big wine of ours, and a lot of our Grenaches and Cabernets are all old vines. And we have 500 acres of vines in McLaren Vale, D'Arenberg, so we're always looking at exactly what the vineyards give, and every single vineyard will give a different expression because of the age of the vines, but also just the site is expressed different in each one. At D'Arenberg we have about 90 wines, so we've sort of got the whole market covered in many different varieties. We have the old traditionals, lots of GSMs and Grenache wines, lots of different Shiraz and Cabernets and the traditionals. And then in the 90s I started planting a lot of varieties like Tempranillo, Marsanne Roussanne, Viognier. We were the first to plant all those 4 varieties in McLaren Vale. One of the reasons that the new varieties work so well in McLaren Vale is that we have a very unique climate here. We're finding that some years they can ripen quite late, and autumns are beautiful. We don't get the frosts that some regions do, and so we can ripen well into autumn without leaf loss, and so we've got the perfect environment for many different varieties. And we're near the sea, of course. It's only about 8 kilometres behind me, and you would think we're very Mediterranean because of that maritime climate. We actually are in winter. It's very maritime here. We don't have particularly cold nights. Very few frosts ever happen. What makes really unique in McLaren Vale is that summers actually have quite a big diurnal variation. We should actually have quite maritime in summer, but we don't. We actually have the hills, which are right next to us, of course, which is the Adelaide Hills region, and we get the cold air off of those every night, and it blows from the lakes. The hot sun has been on northern South Australia and set, and the hot air rises and it sucks all the cold air from the south, which is where we are, and we get all this winds and brings all the cold air off the hills and off the lakes, and we get quite a lot of diurnal variation in the height of summer, which is actually very important for keeping the flavour and the acidity and the fragrance in the wine. But the geologies are the big thing that makes McLaren Vale extremely unique. We have like 40 different geologies, from geologies that are still being laid down today, so less than 10,000 years old, to geologies that are 750 million years old. It's the most geologically diverse wine region in the world, and it's in a really small, compact little site. And having the hills next to you or having the sea next to you makes a big difference. So this region has a lot of stories to tell. It seems right now that nearly every variety works in McLaren Vale, so we're very fortunate. My winemaking ethos is to make great wines. It always has been. To make the greatest wines in the world is my mission, basically. So you got to go, what are the greatest wines in the world? It's a simple formula. The wines that age the longest are the greatest wines in the world. So when I say age the longest, they have to have great fragrant fruit and style, balance and length, and look like they're much younger when they're really old. And that's really what I strive to do. So this is what my ethos is in making wines that reflect the terroir and not oak and not over ripeness, and will age for many years. Working with 47 grape varieties, I have a lot of favourites really, and you could easily say it's Shiraz because we have so much old vine Shiraz, and I love working with it, and the Den Arm is a collection of our best sites put together. I love them all. It's not one that I could pick. As far as new varieties, I think Fiano is really very well suited to McLaren Vale. Of course, there are many producers now in McLaren Vale of it. It seems like it's the best place in Australia to be growing Fiano. And then reds, my two favourite reds are Montepulciano and Menthea of the new varieties, I should say. Of course, McLaren Vale main variety is Shiraz. It's like 60% of all plantings now in McLaren Vale, and it works extremely well here. There's a lot of places in the country, a lot of regions that actually come and buy McLaren Vale Shiraz because they realise how varietal it is and how beautiful it is in this region, how good the acidity is of it, and the spice and the fragrance and the length and the beautiful richness. And obviously Shiraz is synonymous with Australian wine, and so it's an important variety to McLaren Vale, and probably will be for many, many years.